All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. It is that time of the week, folks, as it's time for my weekly picks in the world of the National Football League. And I got things started on the wrong foot this week as I picked the Bills to go on the road and knock off the Houston Texans last night. Of course, we know that this was not the case. This Texans defense is the real deal, okay? And even though that Houston has to go with backup Davis Mills at quarterback right now instead of CJ Stroud, this defense is keeping the Texans afloat in the AFC playoff picture, and they're going to be a force to be reckoned with coming down the stretch here in the regular season. And with that said, we've got some very important games on tap for Sunday as well as the Monday night affair. And with that said, here are my picks for week 12 in this NFL season. Now, I want to start off at Soldier Field on Sunday as you got the 7-3 Chicago Bears hosting the 6-4 Pittsburgh Steelers in a battle of division leaders. So, the Chicago Bears, one thing we know about them so far this season, all of those close games that they found ways to lose last year, they are finding ways to win this year. That is a testament to their rookie head coach, Ben Johnson, as he is attempting to change the culture around this team. On the flip side, for the Pittsburgh Steelers, we know about the injury to Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, and it looks like he's going to try to play through it. But, Pittsburgh at this point of the season, I'm still not able to get a feel for this team because there's really no identity for the Pittsburgh Steelers, even though that the talent is there. Chicago comes in favored by 2.5 points at home. I like them by 6, 23-17. Now we've got the 9-2 New England Patriots traveling to take on the 3-7 Cincinnati Bengals. And the Bengals are trying to hold on to faint playoff hopes, but it ain't easy, especially with a team like the Patriots who come into town rolling. And when I say rolling, New England has won their last 8 games, and this Patriots Express is continuing to pick up steam. No Jamar Chase at wide receiver in this one for the Bengals, as he is serving that 1 game suspension by the NFL after the spitting incident with Jalen Ramsey last week in the loss to Pittsburgh. New England comes into this contest favored by 6.5. I like them by 10, 27-17. Now we've got the 2-9 New York Football Giants traveling to take on the 6-4 Detroit Lions. And for Detroit, they lost a tough one last Sunday night against the Philadelphia Eagles. And what a better way for them to try to get back on track than against the lowly Giants. The Lions come into this game favored big, 12.5 points at home. We know how they can run the football. We know how the Giants cannot stop the opponents from running the football. We saw New York give a spirited effort last week under the first game under interim head coach Mike Kafka. The Giants have still not won a game away from the Meadowlands this season. I think that trend continues as I like Detroit to handle their business 34-13. Now we've got the 4-6 Minnesota Vikings traveling to take on the 6-3-1 Green Bay Packers. The Pack come into this game favored by 6 points. The Vikings are in the basement of the NFC North, but they are still trying to hang around. You look at this Vikings team, and they play it tough, but they just have not found a way to get over that hump. What are they going to do with J.J. McCarthy at quarterback in this one? You still got Justin Jefferson to get the football to, and you have a very opportunistic defense if you are Minnesota. I look at Green Bay, and just like it was with Pittsburgh, I can't get a feel on this team right now. I mean, Green Bay, they they win some games, yeah, but then they lose some games that you're looking like, how in the world did they find a way to lose that game? I think this is going to be another one of those contests right here. I'm going with the Vikings with the upset, 23-20. Now in Music City, we've got the 1-9 Tennessee Titans hosting the 7-3 Seattle Seahawks. We just saw Seattle lose a heartbreaker last Sunday on the road against the Los Angeles Rams, and they want to get back on track, not only to hang around in the playoff picture in the NFC, but of course, try to keep the pressure on the Rams for the top spot in the NFC West. If you are the Tennessee Titans, the finish line, and I mean the finish line for the end of the season, cannot get here quick enough. I like this Seahawks defense going up against this Tennessee offense led by rookie quarterback Cam Ward. The Seahawks are favored big in this one, 13 and a half points. I like them by 14, 31-17. Now at Arrowhead, we've got the 5-5 struggling Kansas City Chiefs set to host the 8-2 Indianapolis Colts. Now the Chiefs come into this contest favored by 3.5 points at home. And if there was ever the term must win for the Chiefs, this is a game. We saw them lose a must win game last week on the road against the Denver Broncos. And with that, I think any chance that Kansas City had as far as winning the AFC West once again is out the window. And I think at this point, if you are Kansas City, you have to put all of your focus into trying to get to the postseason via the wild card, but it's not going to be easy. You look at this Chiefs offense, they've got to go up and deal with this very opportunistic Indianapolis defense. Indianapolis can run the football with the best of them, and Kansas City's going to have their hands full trying to slow down this Colts ground game with Jonathan Taylor. If KC defensively is successful in stopping the Indy run, that means they're going to put more of the burden on Colts quarterback Daniel Jones. I look at this Chiefs offense. What are they going to do against this Colts defense? I think this game is going to come down to whether or not this Chiefs defense can force turnovers and whether or not the Chiefs have to settle for field goals as opposed to getting touchdowns. Usually it's the other way around when we talk about Kansas City. But nonetheless, I think the Chiefs find a way to gut it out and get the 23-20 win at home. Now at Baltimore, we've got the 5-5 Ravens set to host the 2-8 New York Jets. And if you're Baltimore and the chips fall in the right spot, you could be in first place in the AFC North when this game is all said and done. Like I've been saying, the Steelers missed an opportunity to bury the Baltimore Ravens this season. They didn't do that. This team has gotten hot. They've won their last four, and now they have an opportunity to get over 500 for the first time this season. I think the Ravens take care of their business against the lowly Jets, and I like Baltimore 31-17. Now out in Vegas, we've got the 2-8 Raiders set to host the 2-8 Cleveland Browns. And of course, the entire talk heading into this game is the first start for Shador Sanders at quarterback for Cleveland. We saw him come off the bench last Sunday for an injured Dylan Gabriel. It was not pretty. He only completed 4 of his 16 passes because this Baltimore defense was basically pinning their ears back and bringing the pressure. I'll tell you like this. The Raiders do not have the talented defense like the Ravens do. Okay. So there's going to be some opportunities for Shador Sanders to have some success in this game. We talk about quarterbacks having to deal with pressure. Veteran quarterback Geno Smith for the Raiders is going to have to deal with Myles Garrett. As Myles Garrett, as long as he stays healthy, is on pace for a 20-sack season. Yes, both of these teams are 2-8. Yes, it's not going to be pretty at times, or it hasn't been pretty at times from these teams all season long. But I think this has the makings to be one of the better games on Sunday because these are two even bad teams, okay? But when it's all said and done, I'm going to give the Raiders the edge at home, 20-16. Now we've got the 6-4 Jacksonville Jaguars traveling to take on the 3-7 Arizona Cardinals. The Jags come into this game favored by 3 points over Arizona, and they are looking to hold on to that last wild card spot in the AFC. Jacksonville comes into this game dealing with injuries, but so do the Arizona Cardinals. I still like this Jacksonville defense going up against this Arizona offense. And credit to head coach Liam Cohen because he is getting the most out of quarterback Trevor Lawrence. It's not going to be pretty, but I think Jacksonville takes care of their business and they get the to 20 win. Now we've got the 8-2 Philadelphia Eagles traveling to take on the 4-5-1 Dallas Cowboys. These two longtime NFC East rivals met to begin the season, and Dallas gave Philadelphia all that they could handle and then some. It has not been pretty at times for Philadelphia, but the bottom line is they are still 8-2, and you have to wonder at some point, will that magic that they had last year go out there and kick in? The bottom line is you want to run against the Dallas Cowboys, but this defense looks a little bit different now that they have Quinnen Williams at defensive tackle. Can they find a way to slow down Eagles running back Saquon Barkley? This Eagles defense, can they find a way to get the quarterback Dak Prescott and throw off his timing as he tries to get the football to the likes of George Pickens and CD Lamb? You look at this game, Philly is favored by 3 points. Dallas is going to give them a run for their money, but I think Philadelphia finds a way to leave town with a 27-23 win. Now in the NFC South, we've got the 3-7 Atlanta Falcons traveling to take on the 2-8 New Orleans Saints. For the Falcons, it looks like another lost season. As of course, we've heard the news now that Michael Penix, their starting quarterback, is done for the season due to an ACL injury, and now, of course, Atlanta has to once again turn to veteran Kirk Cousins. One thing I will say about this: yes, the Saints are 2-8, but they play hard for rookie head coach Kellen Moore, and this Saints defense really knows how to pin their ears and come after opposing quarterbacks. I think they force a turnover or two out of Kirk Cousins in this one, and that's the difference. As I like New Orleans at home, 20-17. Now on Sunday night, we've got the 6-4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling to take on the 8-2 Los Angeles Rams, and of course the Bucs are trying to hold on to first place in the NFC South. The Rams come into this game favored big at home. They're favored by a touchdown. The Rams are looking good. Matt Stafford at quarterback is arguably playing some of the best ball of his career. The Rams are running the football, and they get after you defensively. And of course, with all of that said, it's easy to write off these Tampa Bay Bucs. Remember last year, Tampa was a heavy underdog going to Los Angeles, and they left town with a win. The Bucs, as always, are dealing with injuries, but the bottom line is this team just has moxie, and of course, that cover two defense can give a lot of opposing quarterbacks problems. It's not going to be pretty, but I'm going to take Tampa to escape with the upset, 27-24. And finally, on Monday night, we've got the surprising 6-5 Carolina Panthers traveling to take on the 7-4 San Francisco 49ers. And for the Niners, they're trying to keep pace with Seattle and Los Angeles in the NFC West. And also, they are trying to hold on to that last wild card spot in the NFC. Of course, we know San Francisco's getting some healthy bodies back on offense. That is big right now for them, especially going up against this Carolina defense. I'll tell you like this: Carolina, they're like the little engine that could, because they simply go out there and they continue to find ways to hang around in games. And if Carolina finds a way to hang around late, usually this season, the fourth quarter belongs to them. I look at this game, San Francisco is definitely going to have to pack a lunch if they want to hold on to the game at home. I think the 49ers get it done 27-24. TFX, I'm happy that you agree with me, man. Yeah, listen, it's not going to be pretty. The 49ers are going to have to work for it. But I think, this team is gaining confidence due to the fact that they're starting to get some bodies back. You've got George Kittle back. You've got Brock Purdy back. And I think with the system that Kyle Shanahan runs, as well as the way that Robert Saleh can coach up a defense, whether as a D coordinator or as a head coach, Robert Saleh can coach some defense. And I think that is going to be the difference in this one. But folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And as always, if you like what you heard and saw in this podcast, you know what to do. Just hit that like button, as well as subscribing to this channel. And like I always say, it's greatly appreciated. Also, if you are on the X, formerly known as Twitter, you can check me out anytime at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it'll be my pleasure to follow you right back. And that also goes for Instagram, and you can check me out at 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge. Also, if you are on Facebook, definitely check out the Sports Depot 365. And as far as I'm concerned, one of the better sports groups going on social media. But until next time, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying thanks once again for checking out the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. Be well, everybody.